What were you saying? What were you saying?
Hello. This is what?
Special guest host today.
All right. Welcome to the new episode of This Week in Crypto. We have three guests today. We have Cash, Akshay, and Akshay's new girlfriend, which is apparently his dog. First of all, why are you wearing a cap? Secondly, why are you sitting on your bed? Like, can't you be a little
Because I don't
professional?
have a desk here.
And why is your dog with you in your bed?
Because I'm at home and I'm on vacation. It's a festival season at the moment, and I am not obligated to do this video at all. In fact, I don't even know why we do it, because we don't monetize this channel. There is absolutely no upside for us. 14 people watch this every week. We seem to think that it's the next.
Hang on, 14 people don't watch it. If you're watching this and you enjoy the podcast, please drop a comment just so this fucking cap dude can shut the fuck up. This week, we have a bunch of tweets that we found on Crypto Twitter that we want to talk about. There's a lot of interesting stuff, and we're going to categorize it into different segments. Cash, take it over.
Yeah, so this is, again, a bit of an experiment, but we have, I think, 4 segments for today. And the first one is going to be called, What the Fuck?
The Ava Labs allegations are extremely serious and need to be addressed by the core team immediately. What are these allegations, Cash? Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Cash, as a former lawyer, I will warn you that you must use the words allegedly.
None of this is confirmed. Yeah. We'll be very careful on this. So this has been dominating crypto Twitter the last week. If you click onto the link, you'll see something here. This is from a website called cryptoleaks.info. So Thunby, if you click on that, you'll see cryptoleaks.info. They're not exactly, like the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. They're, they're up and down, but they're trying their best. And in this case, they have found some really interesting information. So they've come out with this series of undercover spy videos. If you scroll down, you'll see it. They somehow found the lawyer for Avalanche, or for Ava Labs, allegedly. This guy right here. It's like Jason Roche or something like that. And they've got him on video saying a bunch of things, largely around how Ava Labs will use Roche to sue and create lawsuits against alternative layer ones that are competing with Avalanche, get competitive data, and then share that back with Ava Labs. So they're out here suing folks in the hopes of getting competitive intelligence.
I was fortunate in that I did the Ava Labs deal, and so I have the ability to say, look, it's not about the money anymore for me. It's about taking you guys to trial and the sport of it. And
it's even like Labs fairly competitive against one of their competitors.
no, they have me do that on behalf of the client. Their name is Ever. So I can sue Solana, a plaintiff who purchased Solana.
What about the Finity?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, he's getting drunk at dinner with some undercover spy.
He's
from
allegedly
CryptoLeaks.
getting drunk.
Allegedly getting drunk, allegedly with an undercover alleged spy from CryptoLeaks, saying that this is the kind of like dirty route that AVAX is taken to compete with other people.
Is allegedly taking to compete with others.
Is allegedly taken to compete with allegedly other people. I don't know, they might be doing it for other reasons.
With themselves, okay.
Yeah. So where this gets more interesting, right? If it's just CryptoLeaks.info, they do this kind of stuff with somewhat regularity. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not. What gets more intense is that CZ, one of the richest men in the world, founder of Binance, quote tweeted this and said, like, hey, if these allegations are true, this is very troubling. Binance is a competitor. So CZ posted this. This is wild, not sure. The videos don't seem to be deep fakes. I guess it's possible that they are, but he wrote this, then deleted it. So that brought a lot more credibility to things, as you might imagine. So then this obviously caused a lot of drama, and Eamon, I don't know how to pronounce his name, who's the founder of AVAX and I think the head of Ava Labs, responded, basically saying like, hey, this is all bullshit, like we barely know this guy, whatever. It seems, a little bit suspicious, but in fairness, he's saying, hey, this is not...
Okay, hang on. I just have a blanket question for both of you guys. Do you believe that he doesn't know this lawyer at all? Do you believe it? Yes or no? Cash.
No.
I'm not answering that.
I think so. I believe it. I think Kobe, as usual, did it the best. So if you click on Kobe's tweet, you'll see the
Things that discredit crypto leaks. Fan fiction style dramatic writing. Worse than tabloids. Clearly bad faith and biased reporting. Paying to promote their own tweets. Their previous defending ICP articles. Wait, crypto leaks paid to promote the tweet about this expose?
I don't know about this tweet in particular. They've certainly done it in the past. Maybe they did it this time as well. But those videos are pretty persuasive. And then my favorite thing of these all is the last tweet you'll see.
Dude, the symbol for AVAX is literally a red flag. How did we not see this far coming?
Yeah, so who knows where this goes, but what the fuck? This is like weird stuff that happens in the bear and apparently in the bull as well, that layer ones are now attacking each other in court.
Akshay, are you just going to keep quiet through this whole segment?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm just, I'm enjoying myself listening to speculate on what may have happened here.
All right, so this was interesting. I'm assuming that all this is too litigious for any of us to make any actual serious comments. So we should probably move on. Cash.
Sounds smart.
Is there anything else?
No, just keep an eye on that one because weird stuff is happening with these layer ones.
Yeah, we know, bro. You picked 6 tweets to talk about one thing. We will keep an eye on. Jesus, can you guys move on?
Pancake swap protocol fees alone, so not even counting LP fees, are more than the total fees paid by users across every single alt one besides BSC and L2 put together. What?
The fuck? That's right.
Fat app thesis.
What is that? Can you explain?
The fat app thesis is that like the application layer will accrue more value than the protocol layer as applications launch on many chains and start to acquire users, right? It's kind of like we talked about this in last week's episode about how it is a response to the fat protocol thesis, right? So this is an example of PancakeSwap is a DEX on BSC making more in fees than every other L1 apart from BSC and L2
nuts.
put together. That's pretty crazy.
I mean, these protocol fees are how much people are willing to pay to use a service, right? So they're like a proxy for how valuable, like how useful is the thing that's been built. And it's crazy to think that, BSC, obviously very centralized, oftentimes kind of laughed at by a lot of crypto people because like, oh, it's just some centralized thing.
Allegedly centralized. Allegedly.
Just put this week in crypto, allegedly. That's the title for the podcast this week.
All right, so this next tweet, I saw this on crypto Twitter, and this is about Eminem and Snoop Dogg went into the metaverse to perform. And my general take on this is that, guys, we're not ready for the metaverse. Because I saw the Zuckerberg, did you see the Zuckerberg photo that someone
The Horizons thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's also awful. And this video is also awful. Let's just watch the video.
Oh my God, bro. How'd you get that in here? I got the connect. Slam, don't trip. We good. Yo, man.
I think the funniest comment on this was somebody said, why are we getting top signals at the bottom?
I don't know, man, about this metaverse thing. Like, there's not a single product out there that feels outside of Oculus, which is the actual hardware and some of the stuff inside it. Everything else, like, I haven't seen anything that makes me feel like this is great. Have you guys seen anything?
I mean, no, but the problem with this is at least I wish we were at least good traders because we could at least short those things that we thought were stupid. The problem here is we have views that we are expressing on a channel we don't monetize. We do not make an investment. We're not in the seed deals of those, so we are not dumping tokens on retail. We don't know how to short, so we can't take advantage of the fact that we know that it's garbage. So this whole discussion is just a waste of about 11 minutes of productive time. This makes me really sad, guys.
Next category here, we're calling Epic. This is just some cool epic shit that's happened in the world of crypto. This is like my latest fascination here is MEV. Have you guys been watching the MEV kind of space?
No, what is this MEV thing?
So MEV stands for Maximal Extractable Value.
Minor extractable value.
They've changed it now. It used to be minor. Now it's maximal. It's confusing, but they're Anyway, it doesn't matter because it's oftentimes not done by miners. It's done by searchers and other people. Anyway, so MEV, maximal extractable value. It turns out, right, if you think about the way blockchains work, it's a bunch of transactions, and Ethereum in particular, they live in something called the mempool. The mempool is off-chain. It's just all the transactions that want to get done. Then people or miners in particular in a proof of work system, take and decide which transactions to put into a block and then add that to the chain, right? Inside the block, the ordering ends up really mattering, right? If I buy $100 of, XYZ token, then the next person, if they try to do a market order, it'll come in at $101, right? So whoever gets there first has an advantage. And there's all sorts of other kind of tricks of the trade that you can use to profit from how the transactions are actually sequenced within a block. That is MEV.
It's like high frequency trading in traditional finance, right? Where market makers will do trades by front running somebody who's like sent an order to the order books, and somebody will front run you because they have just better infrastructure and they make small spreads.
Exactly. So most of the time you're making tiny, tiny little amounts of money, but it's done by bots and you do it a lot, so it ends up adding up to a lot. Sometimes though, you get a bit lucky. Or you're good, I guess. In this case, this shit is straight up sorcery. Within literally 12 seconds, some person on the internet made $3.3 million in profit through MEV in a single moment, in a single block. $3.3 million happened.
How?
So this is actually, it's a little bit complicated, but the basics of it. You guys remember when Nomad got hacked a little while ago? There was that bridge that got hacked. They hacked it for a bunch of this WBTC, which could, in theory, be frozen. So they needed to dump it as quickly as possible. And they didn't care about the price that they got because they stole it all. So they're like, hey, if the price goes down 5%, I don't give a shit. I just need to get it into a different token so that I can start to, money launder it out of here. So they went to Uniswap and they sold 4.1 thousand Bitcoin. That's a lot of money, right? And they didn't care about the slippage. The slippage is just the amount, the kind of lowest price that you're willing to pay, right? So an MEV hunter saw this massive dump, saw that they didn't care about slippage, and basically right before the transaction pushed the price way down to the maximum amount of slippage, and then right afterwards resold all of that all in the same block, right? So within a single block, you'll see that they did both of these swaps. The bottom one, you can see here, they swapped 2.1 thousand Ether for 296 Bitcoin, and then they swapped that 296 Bitcoin on the pool that Nomad just dumped into for 4,000 Ether.
ETH. Oh, fuck. So that's a clean, 2,000 ETH.
It's a clean $3.3 million that they made just like that, automatic.
I think the cool part is engineers who understand the stuff, like the new traders are engineers, right? Because you have to code this up. And so I'm sure they're like MEV traders in India who are in some engineering, somebody sitting in some engineering college is trying to, code up MEV bots and making money. It'd be cool to interview one of them on the podcast sometime. So if you do this for a living, find
please
a way to
get in touch with us. Our Twitter DMs are open. Would love to interview you and give you all our funds. Thank you.
Yeah.
Allegedly give you our
That's
funds.
not bad. That's
All right, Cash, the next epic tweet. Why is this epic? Just propose an SIP to end the synthetics inflation at 300 million tokens in 10 weeks. After informal discussions today, it seems like it has a decent chance of passing. A formal presentation is planned for the next week. Inflation was designed to bootstrap the network, and it has done the job. All right, which means synthetics is going to be deflationary.
Wait, what is an SIP? Synthetics Improvement Plan?
Yeah,
that's right.
Like EIP.
EIP?
Yeah,
Okay.
like EIP. It's a SIP. This means synthetics is going to be deflationary, right? That's what the net is.
I guess it just won't. I don't know exactly if there's burning mechanisms or not that will make it deflationary, but at least will not be inflationary any longer. So yeah, I think the reason this is so goddamn cool is that synthetics, along with a few other protocols like Compound, kind of invented yield farming. Like they were the first to come up with this idea of let's just emit or send out a bunch of free tokens as a way to incentivize people to use our platform. Synthetics is like a derivatives platform in particular. So they pioneered it, and then for the last few years, everybody copied it. And that's where you got these 10,000% APYs and so forth, right? Obviously, that's not like a super sustainable model in the long run. And what's really cool to see is that Synthetics is now acting on that. So they are saying, hey, that whole yield farming kind of thing that we invented, we're no longer doing that. We're moving over to a more mature model where we're not just throwing money at people to use us. So this is a real sign of DeFi maturity. Synthetics, one of the biggest DeFi platforms out there, making big moves. Shit is pretty epic. Akshay, did you ever get in on the synthetics trade early on?
I may have, I may not have. Why are you asking me? I
This
know
is-
why you're asking
Why
me.
do you even come on
I
this
know why you're
podcast, bro?
asking. Nice. Nice.
Our next segment, Cash, is called Oh. This is that meme, right? Like oh, burn, that kind of a thing.
No, that's not what it meant. This meant I understand something now that I didn't understand before.
So why can't we call it
That's actually a much better name for it. Let's
That's
do
much
it.
better.
Yeah.
All right, our first tweet in is 8 years ago today, the first Bitcoin recipient, Hal Finney, passed away. Oh, 8 years ago.
Yeah, I wanted to include this just in case people weren't up on this, right? No one knows who Satoshi is, but I saw this and it reminded me that I think Hal Finney is Satoshi. There's a bunch of things that kind of point to Hal Finney as being Satoshi. Number one, super intelligent kind of cryptographer, super active early days of Bitcoin, obviously the first Bitcoin recipient. But the second thing about Hal Finney that leads me to think that it might be him is that Hal Finney passed away 8 years ago. And since then, no activity has come out of Satoshi's wallet, right? Like we know Satoshi's wallet, it's the one that has like $1 billion or whatever it is, probably multiple billions of dollars of Bitcoin locked in it. And that hasn't moved in 8 years. If the person who was Satoshi was alive, that's incredible willpower to not take a single dollar or single penny out of it, right? But if that person died, it would explain why nothing has moved or changed.
We really only need one crypto game to work and show the rest the way. Once we know the path and consensus will rapidly converge and you get the virtuous flywheel of VCs funding in an order of magnitude more games building. Same thing that happened with DeFi compound moment. Correct. And I thought, wasn't like STEPN like one big moment?
Yeah, STEPN could be like one path forward, right? Where like the future of kind of crypto gaming is more integrating gaming into your lifestyle as opposed to gaming as we traditionally know it, like StarCraft, where you just sit down to play the game. It's possible that people use crypto to kind of gamify other parts of our everyday lives in ways that allow us to, live better and whatever else. Maybe that's the model. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But like I think that people who shit on Web3 gaming in general probably could look at this tweet and learn a little something, right? That DeFi didn't make a lot of sense until somebody cracked it, and that somebody was Compound and Synthetics and those guys. So
I'm excited. There's a bunch of app ideas that I have, like walkin' or sleepin' or breathin'.
Have you seen Shitten? There's a shit to earn. There's a real shit to earn project that's.
Akshay, any comments, or you're going to pass on this one as well?
Super unique, man. Like, I think the patentability of this is something we should take some time to discuss. Whether it's different from prior art, whether there is an original breakthrough in science that allows you to patent these ideas. And I think we lack the conviction to stand behind our ideas, and I salute you for standing behind yours.
That's the most elaborate way of saying Ganmara I've ever seen. DYDX moves to Cosmos and Helium move to Solana are quite the moment, indicating that in the blockchain dilemma, scalability is preferred over the decentralization and security. Oh my God, Akshay has been going on about this for what is the phrasing that Akshay uses? Minimum necessary decentralization. Minimum necessary
A move from maximum possible decentralization to minimum necessary decentralization. Because ultimately decentralization is a regulatory, it's kind of like a regulatory cover, right? Of course, there's a technological decentralization you need so that if somebody attacks the network, the cost to attack the network is prohibitive, right? That's in a proof of work network and proof of stake. We'll see, the reason you need decentralization is so that the central actor doesn't take over the network. Okay. Well, for Web2 companies, they are a proof of stake network with all the stake with the Web2 company, like 100% of the stake of the network of Facebook this management holds, right? Like they make these decisions of what blocks to validate and what not. And so if they want to deplatform Trump, that's easy to do because they hold 100% of stake. So even 95% is better than 100%, right? 95% is relatively more decentralized than 100%, right? And so there are going to be a generation of these apps that choose to be hosted on maybe their own chains, which are relatively more centralized, such as say in DYDX's case, at least in the beginning, and the hope is that they get progressively decentralized. But they're going to solve for usability, right? They're going to solve for low fees, high speed, great UX. I think a lot of these apps got caught up in this ideological battle of decentralization in the previous cycle and ended up making product decisions that were ideological rather than pragmatic. And that's why we didn't get as many apps with like, parabolic user growth. But I think step in on Solana, for example, and Solana, by the way, has a Nakamoto coefficient score of 32 as of last week. So it's getting pretty decentralized, right, over time. But I think the cool part about this is the trade-offs are being made against the party line, right? And the party line has always been to optimize for decentralization. And now you're seeing apps that have been around for a while making trade-offs in favor of just scalability and a better UX, right? So we'll see, and low fees and stuff, high speed, low fees.
Our last segment is called Not Safe for Work, and I can only imagine what this is.
Yeah, I don't know how you missed this if you're on Twitter, but over the weekend, a photo of Vitalik, the GOAT, came out. And, if you're watching this on YouTube, I don't really need to describe what's happening, but some people are listening. So, Akshay, do you mind describing what's happening in this photo?
Yes, I do, actually.
Vitalik is just really excited about the ETH merge, and that's all this photo is.
So, it's just a guy taking a photo. It happens to whoever. But my favorite response was Charles, who's the CEO or the founder of Cardano, down below.
I don't see what the big deal is. I take tons of pictures all the time. Here's one, for example, and he's with a cock himself. Then apparently there was a Vitalik penis coin that showed up.
It's in the next tweet.
Oh, wow. You have a collection of these.
Oh, I'm bookmarking these. I got a whole scrapbook I'm putting together of all the Vitalik stuff.
V-Dick is a token that someone made. Oh, fuck. And it was up 4,000%. Much like... Never mind.
And that brings a wrap to the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a fantastic week of learning. So many insightful tweets today. And I hope Cash never picks the tweets again, ever.
If you are someone who understands MEV trading, please slide into our DMs. Do check everybody out on Twitter. Links are in the description on that note. See you guys next time. Thank you, Cash.
Bye.
No, thank you, Akshay.
Be happy.
Goodbye, allegedly.